Good afternoon, welcome to the grand finals of the Spring Cup. We have ourselves a beautiful best of 5 coming up with no winner's bracket advantage or any of the sorts. We're going to have just a best of 5. Of course, it could still be turning into 3 games, but we're going to hope for the full 5-game series. We have Power Rangers on one side, and the other side will be taken by TotalAggression, who have shown that they do their name justice in the games that they play. Of course, I am not by myself. I am once again joined by G-Advance. G-Advance, welcome back to the broadcast.
Yeah, it's good to be here. And guess what?
What?
I remembered
you turned
to
on your
keep
microphone.
I turned on my microphone.
Yay!
Ta-da! Because that never happens.
Congrats!
'Cause I'm a dumbass. Do you know the only reason it was on?
It was
because I didn't play any Dota yesterday. Yeah, I'd left it on from yesterday. I didn't play afterwards, so I didn't have to turn it off again.
Well, you know, it's a good way to do it. Just never play Dota again.
Yeah, but no, I can't do that.
That's
no,
a bit horrible.
I should get like a second computer, one for streaming.
There
and one
you go.
For Dota.
There
that
you
would be
go.
a little
That's
bit
your
excessive,
solution
I feel.
right there. No, well, it's a good one. I would do it if I could do it. That would be good. Yeah, 2 computers.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah, I have a new plan. Well, I do know I'm gonna get some tax money back in 2 months or so. So who knows? No, I'm gonna need that to live off. But you know, it's you know, could always save for something special. But yeah, Power Rangers TotalAggression best of 5 grand finals. We had best of 1 group stages with 4 groups. These 2 teams happen to be in the same group, and I just want to point this out because the group was Power Rangers and TotalAggression, Full Assassins, and Ubels. Now, I think we both had, when we first looked at the groups, we saw this group that had Power Rangers in them, which was basically the most known team in the tournament, and instantly said, well, that's a sad team, TotalAggression. They're in the pool of death. And they were the only team that I, at the time, did not know. So I kind of was biased, obviously, towards Power Rangers and either Vul or Ubelst making it out. But here they are in the grand finals, and I have to say, I mean, everybody loves a good underdog story, right? And these players, they can make it happen. They can make it all come true. Cinderella story.
Not only do we love the underdog story, I love TotalAggression's playstyle and their picks as well, because unlike any other team, they pick like Axe like a third of the time, maybe more. I just love the way that they go about their picks and stuff. They start off fairly standard as usual. I mean, they pick up Puck, Dazzle, pretty good combination. They're not, you know, the 2 heroes don't particularly combine well together as heroes, but Dazzle can support somebody else who is going into that fight to follow up on the Puck. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty nice to see. And Power Rangers, they go for, I mean, if you have Scandal on your team, right, why not pick him heroes like Invoker, right? Because he's an extremely talented solo mid player.
Yeah, I have one thing to point out. I think I said it yesterday as well. Because Scandal is a good Invoker player, don't get me wrong. He is amazing on that hero. The point that I'm going to make is going to be turned out to be completely bollocks in a moment's time with such our pick. But I'm going to finish my point anyway. Yeah,
you have to make this
So
point now.
Scandal is mostly known for his Templar Assassin, for his Queen of Pain, or used to be Queen of Pain, Storm, and all those heroes have got something in common. They're very aggressive from the moment they reach level 6. Invoker needs a bit more time before getting aggressive. Now, overall, I'd say, you know, that's gonna be hampering Scandal a bit, that kind of hero, but with a Centaur there, I think he's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, I mean, that is one thing that, you know, Invoker does possibly need a bit more time to get aggressive. He's very good in pretty much all lineups though, especially Quas-Wex Invoker, because he's just a big AoE team fighter that does a lot from long range. And like you said, they pick up the Centaur Warrunner, and the thing is this is not like an old school offlane where offlaners could get completely screwed and then would have to come back from being massively underleveled and underfarmed. Centaur Warrunner in the offlane now, unless they have really good supports for pushing him out, which Dazzle is one of, but really you need 2 supports to deal with the Centaur. So either they pick a tri-lane or they just accept that this Centaur is going to get a fair amount done in the laning stage. So yeah, that will be their sort of great early aggression hero. They're relying on him getting a Blink Dagger though, which can be difficult to build up.
Yeah, a lot comes down to the laning stage and to TotalAggression, how aggressive they can be before Centaur starts to be a real beast. That is going to be our main concern here for total aggression. And Power Rangers banning out that clockwork, already preparing for a free movement around the map for themselves. We've got a lot of supports banned out by total aggression, a lot of controlling supports as well as the Disruptor and Visage. Both actually played quite a bit yesterday by Power Rangers, banned out as we had best of 3 semifinals yesterday. Total Aggression, they're the ones to pick up the Rubik this time. So the Rubik Dazzle combination, I have to say, it's not having the best synergy that you can think of. And there's also not that many great spells that you can steal. I mean, Invoker spells are great to steal, obviously, but they're better if you have them on the Invoker, if you combine them with other spells. And some are nice, but it's not... Like, it's good because you can always steal a spell that is okay. That's basically the case. He's not bad against the Invoker. Centaur has got, of course, a Stomp. It's the only thing that's really strong, apart from, of course, his ult. You want to have that ult. But I'm kind of worried for that support combination, because we have seen them being very aggressive early on in the game. And can Rubik and Dazzle actually do that in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think you summed it up. Rubik is not a good early aggression hero. Dazzle can be when he's combined up with the right hero, but generally he's not going to be. And yeah, I mean, this Rubik, he's not great versus Centaur in the laning stage either. I do think that perhaps he has slightly more spells that he can steal that can have a big effect
especially with the Bane.
I was going to say, yeah, now that the Bane is picked up, which I'm surprised Power Rangers pick up, but if they, maybe they'd already decided on the hero before they saw the Rubik, and they're willing to let it slide that Rubik is in many ways a counter to Bane. I was going to say, the big reason why I think it's really okay to steal a lot of spells from Invoker this game, particularly if he goes Quas-Wex. If you get something like EMP this game, that's very good because you have a Puck on your team, and normally the problem with landing EMP is you can't control the enemy team and keep them in it for long enough because it takes a long time to actually activate. But Puck is a brilliant hero for that, and Total Aggression, I think they just stole the Marana from Power Rangers.
Yeah, and they have run aggressive tri lanes with Buka and the Marana before, with the Rubik as well. They actually ran dual lanes with that. Rubik Marana on the top lane, Dazzle, and which was it? Was it? Yeah. Oh, Dazzle and Axe on the bottom lane.
It was Dazzle and Axe, so they can still do that.
And they can
originally
still do
that was meant to be a tri lane, and they got forced into going into dual lanes, and they won both the dual lanes, which I thought was very, it was an interesting and quite unusual way of playing. Basically going, oh, now we have to do dual lanes. Oh, no worries, our dual lanes are better.
Yeah. And when they couldn't pick up an Axe, well, they went for a Troll instead. So I'm hoping for a very manly hero for Edco to play. We already know what the rest is playing. So give us a manly hero to fit in with that Centaur. Otherwise, all the manliness is going to be on Power Rangers. With the Chen for Power Rangers, though, they can also contest that aggressive tri-lane quite effectively if Chen actually comes around, and can turn it around pretty fast. Because if that Marana doesn't get her arrow off, which we saw Bukas back early on already, then there's really nothing that they can do. They have to land those arrows. So we're going to see if that's going to be something that they're going to aim for. Having indeed an aggressive duo/tri lane on that top lane, and having a safe Axe or Troll in return. I mean, as an Axe against a Centaur is a very tanky hero. So he is not going to drop very fast. And he also doesn't do a lot of damage. So the Berserker Skull also is not... Like, if you have a Blade Mail with Berserker Skull, he's not going to kill himself on you, either.
No, and few heroes do really kill themselves on Blade Mail Berserker Skulls, because the big thing about Blade Mail Berserker Skull, unless you do huge damage, it doesn't actually make you do that much, because Axe gets plus 40 armor from using Berserker Skull. So it's kind of funny, because he's like the typical... He's the definition of a hero that you want a Blade Mail on, when you look at him immediately, and then you're like, oh, I got a Blade Mail on a guy who gets 40 armor when you hit him. Like, that's a lot, so your Blade Mail doesn't do as much damage, but yeah, I think Axe would be an interesting pick this game, especially because it's pretty useful versus Chen. I know that sounds a bit pseudo-weird, but the thing is, yeah, I mean, we do see it. I think it's almost kind of obvious. Like, Total Aggression have played this way. I feel like I've seen this draft like 3 or 4 times from them now.
We've at least seen it once. We saw it yesterday, the exact same competition with Felds on the puck as well.
Yeah, and to be honest, I mean, I enjoy this playstyle for them. The only problem I think we've seen so far with the Axe pick for them is that until they have really Aghanim Scepter or a lot of levels on the Axe, it's pretty obvious that the Culling Blade is not that reliable as far as are you always going to be able to get it off? One problem Edco seems to be having is he often uses the Culling Blade on people who are totally fine and not going to die from it and just does like 100 damage or however much it does. Yeah, it's like 150 damage. Wow, okay, Power Rangers go for the crazy pick too.
Remember that, like, we had a game earlier this week where there was a Centaur, a Wraith King, and a Beastmaster in the same game?
Yeah, we did have that. The Game of Men.
Yes, the Game of Men. I don't think it was... it wasn't it Total Aggression that ran that against Power Rangers?
It was Total Aggression, yeah.
Against Power Rangers in the first game of their group, after which they made it through the loser bracket, I believe.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was them.
Yeah, so they're gonna be fighting against something that they actually put maybe a seed in the mind of Power Rangers for. We've seen, like, when we saw the lineup with the Wraith King himself was actually incredibly strong. And that is a scary thing.
Wraith King's done well as a hero, I think. He's definitely proven his worth. The only problem with Wraith King is that he is very easy to kite out. And apart from, the Axe, who obviously is not much of a kiting hero, considering he jumps at people, they do have good heroes for kiting out. And for, keeping away from that. They can even heal people up if they do get caught slightly by Moon here. So I think Moon, he might struggle. It depends a lot on his team.
Oh, Moon might be struggling first, but FMP is not far enough ahead to get the lift off, or is he? There is also a couple of people from Power Rangers around. If they find someone... Oh, arrow! Boom! It hits on Moon! Everybody run. It's a 5-second arrow, and they should be able to pick off Moon. Quite simple. First blood gonna be taken by Total Aggression unless some miracle happens. Failed, actually, the one to take it, which is incredibly important because he is almost done with his bottle right now, and that will give him a huge edge in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think Scandal's probably going to be a little bit upset with Moon there. The arrow does manage to hit. I mean, I said it before, you throw an arrow through the trees and it suddenly becomes that much harder to evade, and I mean, maybe Moon just wasn't looking on that one, but he still got hit by it, and yeah, first blood goes to Total Aggression. FMP, he's been caught out a bit here, but there's no real chance he's going to... What an arrow! An
arrow over the edge. It looks like Dazzle's around just in case FMP needs some more heals. He's not going to heal him straight away because obviously that mana is very costly. Let's take a look at who is playing what, as we already have first blood on the board, so I don't have to be worried about missing it anymore, which is very relaxing, very soothing for me as a cameraman, caster person. So we have got 4 Power Rangers. They will be on the dire side for this first game. As said, it's a best of 5, so next game we'll see them on the other side, and vice versa all the time. So Scandal will play the Invoker in the mid lane. Is he having braided hair? It looks like he is. He has, or bow ties in his hair. Weird. So we've got ourselves Centaur on the offlane. We already talked about this. Is actually J4 playing the offlane Centaur. I want to just point that out because he's not normally, he's not normally the Centaur player, and he might actually drop here. There's no poison coming out from Dazzle because he's still only level 1. If that is a level 2 combination, that is a dead Centaur. In the jungle, we have FNG. He's going to be our Chen for this game. Then we've got ourselves a... Scandal? No, you're going to be fine. We got ourselves Wicked Sick standing in. That's why we see... because there's no Cheshire Cat in this game, apparently. So, he's playing the Bane, Wicked Sick is. And Moon is going to be playing the Wraith King, who we already saw die to that arrow on the top lane.
Yeah, and on the side of Total Aggression, the safe lane farmer for the team. He's actually on the Axe here, though. Not exactly an unusual carry here, and goes very aggressively against J4 there. It is Edco. Talked about him before. He's played Axe a lot this tournament. I hope to see some more dunking this game, but his support for the team, it is a stand-in, but he stood in throughout the whole tournament, I think. It is Kurtcho. The middle lane player for the team, it's Phaelitz on the
Wait a second. Top lane has got some issues for FMP. He's getting stunned. The damage should be there. He's gonna try to deny himself to neutrals, but it's just too much damage coming out. Wicked Sick gets the kill in the end. Nicely done. And punishing that Rubik for his aggression. Sorry.
Yeah, and that's just one of the problems with running an aggressive dual lane versus a tri-lane. If the tri-lane is good enough, and if you coordinate it well enough, you should be able to kill at least one of those people in that dual lane at pretty much any time. And unless your dual lane on the safe lane is going to crush this Centaur, it's very risky running dual lanes. It's a lot more risky than people realize, I think.
Yeah. A bit worried here for J4 again. There is a poison this time if Kurtcho wants to throw it out. He is being very careful, though. They're just trying to harass him. Maybe get rid of his regen. He still has 3 tangos, though. But
yeah, it's difficult to cut through a Centaur's regen of all heroes, especially because to do that often, you have to right-click him, and that's going to cut through your own regen. At the very least, they're keeping him low in this lane, and it looks like they're going to go on FMP again, but he's going to lift one, throw one down, and he might be okay from this. Can't really be sure.
He's getting stunned up for the moment. He runs. There is, oh, it's Moon actually going for stats. Brain Sap still coming out, but it's okay. Nobody actually dies. This is costing a lot of time for FNG, by the way, if he's not getting enough out of this. For the moment, I mean, he was involved in that kill just now, so that's fine, but he can't be hanging around this top lane all too much.
Yeah, if he stays continuously doing this, he's going to end up fairly under-leveled. That said, I mean, well, it's probably going to be farming fairly okay anyway. It depends a little bit on his jungle RNG, but FNG, he's not doing too badly on the levels, but if he comes in again and they don't get the kill, then at that point, he'll probably be pretty sore about things, but surprise Burkar, give FMP a tango, he doesn't have any. Alright.
Share the wealth.
Just doesn't share. Burkar is greedy.
Yeah. FMP's not asking for it apparently either, so I don't know.
Yeah. An interesting thing, by the way, that I just noticed here is PR's Scandal, he's going for Exhort Invoker here. So this is not something you often see, and Phalit's actually being gone on a little bit here, but there's no real chance he's going to die from this.
No, he should be able to.
He's just being pushed out of the lane.
Maybe a test of faith or something, just harassed. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, I mean, Centaur might not have died yet, but this is still a very annoying lane for the Centaur to be on. He's forced to hide actually in the river to still get some experience, while he waits for maybe the X to go. We do have a Chen continuing to rotate, like we saw FNG being mid. He now comes towards the bottom lane, and perhaps they can take down the X. They've got the Sables, of course. In comes the Battle Hunger. There is no grave for Kircho, and Edko is picked off by the Test of Faith. Kircho really is kind of greedy, wants to get Mad Bomber, and that's going to be giving the kill to him, but it might have cost his own life. Has got another heal, waiting for the creep to maybe have some extra damage on FNG, but he is going to fall. Grave coming out. He actually got himself the grave level just at that kill, and Sunstruck. The Chen actually got the kill, so the Sunstrike wasn't even needed. But that already reveals the Exort and Invoker, as you pointed out. I kind of like it. They have a lot of disable, and it actually makes a bit more sense for the Bane. I mean, we already had the Bane combined up with the Centaur, which is nice. But now also with the Sunstrike.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about Exort Invoker, he's perhaps not quite as good early. He certainly can't rotate at all. He has to sit in this middle lane. He needs a lot more greedy, but he is going to do better against Phalits here. Normally, one of the issues that a solo mid Invoker will have versus a Puck is that his base damage simply isn't good enough. So it gives him that advantage, and like you said, they have enough disables that they can try and follow up with a couple of early Sunstrikes, and so far, I mean, it seems to be working out okay for them. I'm still more of a fan of Crosswex though, and Edko again just going crazy aggressive here.
Yeah, and this time actually, maybe they get him. Nope. Nope. Centaur lives. So Kircho is taking a large beating from that tower. Waiting for Edko to tank up the other tower, but
in the meantime, I wasn't looking for it, but apparently Scandal man-fought the Puck in the mid lane and somehow managed to beat him. I mean, very surprising that either of them would put themselves in a situation for like that. Scandal even had to be sent back to base.
Yeah, good kill for him though. Yeah, definitely gives him an edge on that middle lane after Fields already getting the edge earlier for getting first blood. Fields is sitting on 23-5 with Scandal sitting on 22-11. So in terms of last hits, it's even. Looking at top lane though, and Wicked Sick gonna be getting a brain sap. In comes the Starstorm though, and Wicked Sick is gonna be one to fall, or is he? The Stampede will keep him safe. The stomp coming out from the Centaur, and that is gonna be a double kill for FNG, who is, by the way, 4-0-1.
Yeah, and these dual lanes not working out for TotalAggression. I almost feel like they should have put the Dazzle at the top, left the Axe for solo versus the Centaur. They probably would have traded farm, and of course the Axe hasn't got any chance to get a kill on him, but it's not like they're doing particularly well. They're not shutting down J4 that badly. He's 6.5 at this point. He's not got Tranquil Boots or anything like that, but it's not like miles behind on farm. And actually, Axe is going up top here.
Yeah,
this is a manly TP.
Very manly TP with no mana to show for, but they are going to
they're going to get the deny on the tower. Yeah, that's worth it for the TP there.
And perhaps they swap the entire lanes around. We still have Kershaw trying to farm some on the bottom lane. No rotation, of course, in the Puck. We're waiting for, of course, the core items on the players on the side of TotalAggression. They are lacking Blink Daggers. Need one on Edko, need one on the Puck as well, who, by the way, went for phase first. So prioritize that over getting... Oh, wait a second. Nightmare. Mirana has got a leap at the stun, the Sunstrike, and the Gen to finish it off. In comes Edko, though. He jumps in. Is he level 6? Yes, he is. And dunked! That's going to be one Gen down, and that's a mega kill streak, by the way. In comes a Dream Coil. Teleport a tent out for Wicked Sick, but the lift is there, and the kill as well for Failed. 2 for 1. Mirana died, but at least the revenge was had. Edko getting his first dunk of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just the power of an axe. The more people that you put in, if they don't have enough damage to kill off the axe, the more people are fighting him. It just turns it around against you. You got a couple spins there, and yeah, just jumped in, Culling Blade, and now they go for a little bit of a tower push here, but smart play by Moon. He pulls the creep wave back, and they're not going to be able to. Got some
trouble for Dazzle. There's an arrow coming in, though. Teleport as well. Leap into double star store. Oh, that Centaur is so sad. He had a haste rune as well. He thought, you know, solo Dazzle, I can take him on, but nope. No such thing. We have actually got a Blink Dagger, by the way. Those kills Edko got, or the kill Edko got, managed to get him the Blink Dagger, so that will make a big difference in terms of pace of the game. As we know that
that's a very early axe Blink Dagger there. 8 minutes and 8.5 minutes. This is earlier than your Bat Riders, and Bat Riders are fast farming hero. It looks like he's trying to go for Scandal, but he was on the safe lane, but you still don't expect a Blink Dagger that fast, I would say. He wants to go for Scandal here, but Scandal spotted him out just about on the edge of his vision, and there actually is a ward up defending him in the middle lane, so yeah, Scandal's going to be fine there. Interesting that Failets decide to go for Phase Boots on Puck. It's something we never really see anymore. It's pretty much the standard to either stick with Brown Boots and rush a Blink Dagger or go Treads and Blink Dagger. Yeah. But I guess because he's against an Exort Invoker, he wants to try and contest these last hits more, and he's been able to do that. I would have thought he would lose this last hit war a lot worse. Scandal is just ahead. He does have a fair amount of denies, though.
Yeah, it's fairly even here in this middle lane. Scandal so far, I mean, his items not really taking shape just yet. It's taking a while, but that's the thing about an Invoker. He just will take a while before he can actually make something happen. As actually, and
especially Exort Invoker.
Yeah.
And he's going Hand of Midas as well. He's gone for the Harney build, actually. This is like exactly the build that that Harney popularized and sort of brought back Invoker, and then everybody decided Exort Invoker was OP, and they had to change it.
I'm kind of surprised that Mirana is having a bit less farm than I thought she would have by this time. She was, of course, on a dual lane on the top, but didn't really get that much farm. She got 34 last hits, which is definitely not bad, but she only has Phase Boots and an Aquila to show for, which, yeah, it's a bit underwhelming. As Moonlight Shadow, can they actually pick off the Centaur? I am not too sure.
Centaur's a hard kill, and he's been spooked a little bit. He saw the Puck on the middle lane get the Moonlight Shadow. And
they're gonna jump in
They could
anyway,
only be going for him.
Arrows, calls. Let's see if they have enough damage before the chop. In comes a Hand of Midas. That's gonna be enough damage to get the kill going. Scandal might actually die as well. Edko is gonna chop him just in case. Nightmare is gonna be keeping Edko in place for a little while. Stillbane gets the kill, but he'll die for it. At least he gets something. It's not entirely over though, or at least now it is. Rubik was picked off on the side. Moon and FNG making sure that there is at least a 2 for 3 rather. I'd say it's in favor of Total Aggression still though. They got actually Scandal. For the first time this game, he dies. And leave Puck to far middle.
This is the way that Total Aggression have won their other games, right? They've been very sacrificial. They've dived towers. They've been highly aggressive. And the Axe pick, he dies a lot generally in their games, but he seems to get a lot of kills, and yeah, he gets the kill on Scandal. They take out the Bane, I believe, as well, and the Chen. And yeah, it's not the Chen. They took out the Centaur, sorry. So yeah, I mean, well worth it. Even if you do lose the Axe and one other, and he's actually going again.
Yeah, Moon. He has got his ult though, so even if he dies right now, he will be able to get back up there. The chop actually misses this time. He will still get the kill, but he is slowed by that reincarnation. The stun comes out from FMP. That's gonna help Edko maybe get away. He will have his blink in 2 seconds. The Chen creeps looking for him, putting that blink on cooldown, and that's gonna be the kill with the brain step of Wicked Sick. Centaur ult coming in. Stampede. Rubik is going to be picked up first. And perhaps they can get themselves failed as well. He's not going to be able to jump towards his orb. And indeed killed off. And they were the ones to initiate this one. And this is the aggressors being aggressed upon. And they paid for it. Very
yeah, I mean, it was just a bit too much there. And the funny thing is I was checking Axe's cooldown there. He did have enough time to blink away. I guess they thought, oh, you know, because I don't think they expected the Centaur to be coming in, nor the Chen, or not, sorry, the Chen, nor the Invoker, and they ended up turning up to the fight as well. There were just more people coming to that fight than Total Aggression expected. Even so, it was a bit too much. The thing about committing to try and killing a Wraith King is, if he's got reincarnation, it basically means nothing, unless you have sustained damage output, which is one thing that Total Aggression don't actually have very much of this game. Even the Mirana at this stage, like you said, she's not got lots of farm, so she's not got much in the way of sustained DPS output, and Axe is only... Axe can be, because of Counter Helix is, you know, it's physical damage that he can keep on doing throughout the fight, but he doesn't do that damage if he dies, and that's exactly what happens then. He's not got enough HP to do that right now.
The only reason they can make it right is if they kill it off again, because he is level 10, the Wraith King that is. And one level before level 11, of course, it's going to be a lot easier to actually get the kill. Oh, jump in, Edco. They're doing Roshan, though. I don't think he knew that. Dream Coil coming in on 2. Edco already misses Quelling Blade, so he can't really get more chops in. Rubik picked off. The Nightmare's still up on the Centaur. In comes an arrow as well. Centaur will get picked up there as well. Failed. Double kill. Edco still alive and kicking. Failed. Jumping over the edge. Getting a triple kill. Oh my god. That is gonna be a free Roshan, and they might not have gotten the moon on the Wraith King, but I don't think they mind all that much. I don't think they
not
mind
even
at
bothered.
All.
I mean, I said it before, the more units that are attacking an Axe, the worse it is. Unless those units have a lot of damage, unless they can burst him down, it doesn't do anything. And even though he missed his Quelling Blade right at the start of the fight, so he had that on cooldown,
I thought that was
going to
be so problematic.
I thought so too. I thought at that point, you know, their only sustained way of killing people throughout the fight generally should be Culling Blade, but they had so many people being forced to attack Edco. He just ended up turning into just a spinning top there and wiping everybody out. I mean, great play by Failitz as well, moving around the fight to just pick off the people that managed to get out. There were 2 people, the Bane and the Invoker, that managed to get out. I was pretty sure at that point that Total Aggression, they would have won the fight, but they weren't going to get the Roshan because people were escaping, and you don't want to try and do a Roshan against an Invoker or a Bane either, really. But particularly Invoker, though, and Failitz, he just jumped out the fight, picked off both of them, and then came back for the rest. And yeah, Moon gets out, but, well, at the very least, this gives him more time that he isn't dying and his reincarnation is on cooldown. And while your reincarnation is on cooldown on Wraith King, you basically just want to hide. You don't want to be fighting the enemy team. The big thing about the Wraith King is you want to fight when your reincarnation is off cooldown, because then you're essentially like... It's an oxymoron, right? It's a lot like the Axe. You just don't want to hit him, even though he's wiping out your team, because if you start hitting him, you're basically wasting your time.
Yeah. But he didn't really pay... Like, he wasn't really a factor in that fight at all. Just got out while he could, I guess. He was one of the lucky ones. I have to say, I mean, that Fails play, that was only possible because Edco missed his Culling Blade. I think he didn't need to clean up like that if Edco just hit the Culling Blade. And the thing is, I mean, he is a brilliant Axe. We've seen him do it before, and he's won with that hero before. But he's missing so many of those in all the games that we've seen.
He does it in every single game. Yeah, it's a serious problem, but it doesn't seem to be hurting the team that badly. And, you know, for the moment, if they can work with it, it's okay. The big thing right now is that they aren't crushing PR as hard as they might want to be. And in fact, Wraith King and Bane, they pick up a kill on the Mirana there.
Fiend script used, but in comes the smoke. They want to try and take down Wicked Sick. I think they're going to have their wish. Can they ult? No, they can't take down Moon. He's going to teleport out, and that's going to be it right there.
Interesting item pickup from the Wraith King here. He actually goes for Blade Mail. The only time I've seen people pick up a Drum Blade Mail in this order, generally they go for a Radiance next. I know it's a bit of an unusual build, but it is something I've seen rising. It's more of a sort of American thing. I think Fogged has been talking about it a lot or something. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see if he actually is going to go for that. It would be a fairly late Radiance, but it does mean that you basically, again, you're a hero that nobody wants to hit that's constantly burning everyone. I'm not sure if he will go for that. He might just go for standard carry items after this, though.
I just noticed that the axe of the Centaur looks like a stick horse.
Looks like what?
A stick horse. It's a literal translation of the thing that I like. It's a horse on a stick that you used to be running around with as a kid.
I've seen that weapon so many times and I haven't really realized that.
Oh well.
That's weird.
I have found the reason why Edgo misses Culling Blades. Every game we've seen him on Axe, he went for an Aghanims.
Yeah, he goes for Aghanims
And
every
he
single
just
time.
maybe is assuming that he already has it. Oh,
yeah, I mean, it's easy
nice
to get
dodge.
used to that feeling. That was a very nice dodge there from
Very
Felix.
nice dodge. That is very difficult to dodge if you're standing so close to that target. In the meantime, his team is taking down a tier 2 top. I mean, Fortification comes out, but Fields is going to prevent them from teleporting top. He has got a Dream Coil. He's just playing with him, just toying with him. Now in comes Edgo. They want to defend. Blade Mill active for the Axe as well. Can he get the top in Hand of God? Jen already getting Dagon down by Fields, and Moon now picked up as well. That is going to be a Centaur, though, stomping in. Still getting silenced up. Fiend's Grip up on Rubik, who will get taken down, or should get taken down. There he goes. Moon back up in here. Buka has to be careful, though. Those crits hurt, as the Centaur still gets picked up by the Dazzle. Moon looking to go back in. His ult on cooldown for the moment. Failed. At least out for the moment. There goes X still, though. And this... Oh my god, Puck just killed himself on Moon. Moon will still die. There's 5 dead in the set of Power Rangers, but there is a lot more dead in the set of Total Aggression that I think needed to happen if it weren't for that. Oh.
Or Sunstrike? Nah,
Nice.
Bukar.
But if it...
They're pretty close there. And I mean, as soon as you see an Exor Invoker buyback, I think they know what's happening.
Yeah.
So they do manage to dodge that Sunstrike, and
Puck
yeah,
killed
I mean,
himself, right? I mean, there...
yeah, Puck killed himself, Axe killed himself as well.
Yeah.
He had like no HP, he was out of the fight, he was home free, and then he was like, nah, I'm going to initiate again there. He did hold them in place. I think that helped them get the kill on the Wraith King, but even so, they probably would have picked them off in the end anyway.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, yeah, Total Aggression, they probably lose more people than they need to, but they still do win the fight pretty hard, and Wraith King goes down twice as well. That's a big thing that they can be able... If they can do that at this stage of the game, that's an impressive feat for them, because, like I said, they don't have much in the way of sustained damage output. They're fighting a guy with Blade Mail, so they are hurting themselves, and in fact, killing themselves on him, but... Yeah, I mean, the big thing for me there in that fight is that I think that's the first time we've seen the Centaur and the Invoker actually work together in the team fight. It did a lot of damage, but it was just a little bit sloppy. Scandal's combo didn't hit the majority of Total Aggression, despite the fact that the Centaur was... He basically just had to aim for the Centaur, and he was slightly off and only hit a couple of people there, but even so, Total Aggression still win the fight. So I think, despite the fact that this game is fairly even for the moment, Total Aggression, they are out-farming them slightly. Kill score's pretty even. Towers are a little bit in favor of them.
Oh, J4! I'm so sad for him. That's gonna be both J4 and Wicked Sick dead. That was failed baiting out. The biggest bait ever. His entire team was smoked up behind him. Centaur jumps. Centaur dies.
Oh dear.
Fiend's Grip was even used. Not stolen though. Rubik picked himself up the Hoof Stomp, which is
He
a nice
did steal
one
it
as
in the
well.
previous fight.
He did, yeah.
He
We saw
had it for
come
the
out,
previous
yeah.
fight, used it on the Wraith King, which was a big part of the fact that they were able to kill him off twice.
Yep.
And it looks like they're just going to go straight up for the tier 3s here.
why
I
not?
mean, they already have level 1 Necro books, why not?
Deafening Blast coming out though. It's...
Look at the damage that Scandal just did to himself. He just halved his health.
Yeah, oh, awkward arrow.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
There's multiple Centaurs in this game. I call that a Centaur too. That's confusing. Sorry, people. But that's a Centaur too. With a Stomp as well. Oh my god, they're brothers. Long lost brothers.
Well, one of them's a Conqueror and the other is a War Runner.
Yeah, they're family.
So, yeah, they're all family, right? But I feel like a little bit more effort's gone into Centaur War Runner. You know what I mean? Like, he looks a lot... He doesn't look the same as, like, as the Conqueror. Because the Conqueror's, like, naked. Like, he's just got, like, a sash on.
He's the retarded
And then,
brother
like-
of the Centaur. War Runner. Don't be
Yeah,
rude.
or, like, he's, like, the homeless version of Centaur War Runner.
No. It's they're brothers.
Alright.
One is just, you know, underloved by the mother. The mother only loves one. You know? Yep.
Okay. I'm loving these. I'm loving this interesting ward placement here in the middle lane here. I guess they just did it because they were one was timing out soon, but it's like they're putting up sentries in the middle here, but just to ward off the side of Total Aggression. But Total Aggression, they don't seem to care this game. They've been. I mean, they live up to their name, right? They do. This is what they always do. I mean, if one thing can be said bad about them, they are definitely predictable. And again, Felix is nice at dodging those Wraith King stuns there.
I'm a bit worried for Rubik. I mean, he went for the Necronomicon first, which is, you know, nice because they want to push fast, and I know that if this game lasts very long, then it's not going to be very successful. Oh, this is scary. There is no more Centaur that actually just vanished.
But that was seen by J4.
Oh,
They
and a
know
new
that this
one.
is done.
Yeah, a new one
Yeah,
gets
they
put
knew
up.
that this is done because J4 is up on the high ground behind them. He could get a
Yeah,
perfect
jumping
initiation.
up. J4 getting a stomp on 2. FMP gonna get picked up first. Moon able to make it happen. He's taking a lot of damage himself though, but he's okay with that. Failed, already gone, and a Hand of God keeps Power Rangers up and now forces Total Aggression away. They will have to give up their tower, or will they? Because Edco, what are you doing, buddy? He jumps in, he's gonna get Grave, but he's not spinning enough. There's not enough people hitting him. He might get one, but even that is not there for him. And the Dazzle that was forced to stick around because Edco jumped in is gonna die as well. And they don't even get Moon's reincarnation, which is the only thing that they were actually getting close to. That jump in, I mean, Edco and Dazzle could have just stayed alive, backed off, give away 1 tower, and now they die and lose 2 towers.
Yeah, they might not lose the second one. Actually, no, they are going to lose the second one. And yeah, I mean, Edco, he's done a fantastic job in this game and throughout the tournament, but apparently he only knows one way of fighting the enemy team, and that is to initiate no matter what the cost. In this time, the cost is most of his team. I think the Rubik just about survived, but yeah, Total Aggression, I mean, that's all they do. It's Total Aggression. They're very predictable, and PR, they've played that sort of style for a long time, right? So they probably are fairly used to it. At the very least, they are still doing well, but this game now, it's gonna be, I mean, the gold has been even for a long time, pretty much, or, you know, well, the gold is now going to be even, and I think that means a lot more for the side of PR, because they have the carries.
Oh, Scandal here, so dead. There he goes, nice smoke gank. Roshan is up again without Invoker. I think they can take him down. Invoker had, of course, oh, actually, 20 seconds before he can actually buy back. Well, that's a tough one.
Yeah, he bought back not in the last fight,
he doesn't
but just
even
a
have
little
the
bit
gold
beforehand.
for it, actually.
Nah, and I don't think he'll want to anyway. He's trying to build up himself a Necronomicon as well. A lot of people are building Necrobooks this game, including heroes you wouldn't expect it on, like the Rubik, which
The
normally,
Rubik
I mean,
and the Dazzle have one, both of them.
I can kind of see it on Dazzle, you know, because how it works with Shadow Wave, and that hero is going to be far back in the fight anyway. It's not like a Rubik who often wants to jump forward because sometimes he gets spells that are shorter range, etc. Or he wants to try and steal some spells that are harder to do. But yeah, I mean, I guess Necrobook, it's just how they're doing it. I'm surprised by Phaelitz as well. We haven't talked about this. Phaelitz, he went for Phase Boot, Blink Dagger, Dagon 4. Like, that's pretty much about as snowbally build as you can get. And he's been given Aegis twice by his team now as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Dagon is nice. But it's starting to get, like, who are you gonna kill with it? Not the Wraith King. Because there's a Blade Mill, not the Centaur.
You can use it on Invoker, people like that. I think that's probably their best option. Yeah, and the good thing is as well is, you know, they can use it to give Axe more of a chance to start culling Blade. Speaking of which, he's just finished his Aghanim Scepter now, so this is a pretty fast Aghanim Scepter for him. I mean, Total Aggression, they're fairly fun, but Moon now, he's starting to come online. He actually picked up a BKB now, so he's not going for that weird Radiance build, and yeah, they are setting a trap here. They don't have everybody, though. Scandal isn't here.
Both sides are setting a trap. Looks like the trap of Power Rangers just got pulled back.
Yeah, I think that's the sensible option. Scandal is off farming in the jungle for the moment. He's still trying to build up and finish up his Necrobook 3, which is a fairly major item this game, especially because they have a Mirana on the other team, so Necrobooks, the melee one has true sight vision, so they will be able to stop the Moonlight Shadows going in. Yeah, the Warrior.
Mirana has actually finished up her Mjolnir. That's also a nice one to have. If they put that on the axe, and he is standing somewhere calling people, there's gonna be lightning everywhere.
Yeah, and Mirana can be hitting a lot from behind
gets
the fight.
dodged though.
Ooh, the arrow, they're just for vision, I think.
I think they saw it. They have to have seen that, right?
There was no way that they should know that PR were there, but I think they just threw the arrow just for vision. Check. It does give vision. Yeah.
You want to check. That's going to be a stun.
Trapped in a corner.
Stampede coming in. Edco in some trouble. Puts on the blade, but the BKB on Moon. It makes no difference. Fiend's Grip coming out on Edco as well, as Fails trying to do what he can to interrupt it, but he'll just die. Has, of course, got an Aegis. That's the first jump of Edco, though. And his second one, there it is as well. He's living for the moment. Moon is still wanting to chase him down. The Moonlight Shadow keeps him safe. And Moon now forced to change targets as it is going to be almost a quelling blade on Buka. As Rubik still will find his grave. Edgo still gets the Wraithing with another chop. Moon though back up alive. Gonna look for a new target. Edgo, where are you going to go? Do 4 seconds. A stun. Is he going to be able to blink? No, he can't. Double kill for Moon. 3-4-3. In a way, it's fairly even. 2 cores stay alive on both sides, but I think that's the first fight that Total Aggression... I mean, seriously though, how did Edgo stay alive for so long? I feel that was a mistake from Power Rangers somehow.
Yeah, they just used all their spells before Edco was actually finished off, and they do have the Dazzle on their team, who's able to get off a grave at pretty much the perfect time, but... Ooh, Phalet's here. You need to be careful about doing this. He can't take on J4 at this point. If he tries to hit him, he's going to die, even with the DD.
Yeah, especially, oh yeah, even with a DD, I should say. Return, not a blade mail.
The way return works is...
yeah.
It's a weird mechanic. Doing more damage doesn't matter, it's just that you're trying to hit him. Doesn't even matter if you hit him as well, it's just the attempt to hit him.
Yep, and you get return damage even if you cancel your attack. That's more Necronomicons being ready. Level 3 is already done on the Invoker, of course, but we now also have got a level 2 on the Dazzle and on the Rubik as well, so they got some extra levels. And by the way, I mean, Chen died in that fight. The gem, of course, was dropped because of that. Is still in the hands of Power Rangers, I believe. Is the courier actually has it again? Yeah, okay, it will be put on FNG again. It's an important thing to get for Total Aggression. Get that map control, get those wards going away from Power Rangers, as they have got some nice wards still standing. I have to say, their warding is a bit nicer than that of Total Aggression. They've only got 1 ward up, a fairly obvious one, I should say, like just in the Radiant Jungle. Failed, what are you doing? Can't get Wicked Sick, not even with the Dag on 5, and doesn't want to stick around too long because the hate train would have come.
Yeah, at the very least he does send the Bane back to base, and yeah. I mean... He creates just a little bit of room on the map for them as well, because right now, Total Aggression, they're probably thinking about what their next couple of items can be. They're not doing badly in these fights, but Edco, again, just going crazy on anybody he sees. He's gone on J4 on the bottom lane here.
Yeah, double-edged blade is hurting him quite a bit, though, and of course a meteor falling over the top doesn't really help either. Nicely done for Power Rangers. And it's quite a big pickup, and perhaps they can get something off the back of it, like a tier 2 tower on the bottom lane. The tier 2 tower has already been dropped to half
They're
health.
probably not grouped up enough to actually go and finish off the tower. It's only a half health. Maybe they have the creeps to do it, but they're not grouped up at this point, and that's actually something interesting. Edco seems to be jumping in pretty much any situation, which, I mean, I can understand. He's playing on an axe. Yeah? I mean, that's a big part of the hero, but he's jumping on people when there's nobody to support him, and he doesn't have, you know, constant damage output, and Phalet's just oh my, that was painful.
He didn't see that there was
Doesn't get the gem, though, yeah. I mean, he just tries to escape as quickly as possible, at the very least. He takes out the Chen, but he's going to stop their push for a moment, he's going to give them more time to farm, and that's exactly what they're doing. Buakar's up on the top lane, Phalet's is going to go through the mid, cut the creeps here, so they don't have an opportunity, and yeah, PR, they were grouped up to try and do something, but with the Chen down, and yeah, they just have to back off in the end. That's difficult for them, because Chen, he's all their burst heals, the Hand of God and the mech, which are pretty important, considering that the axe is, if he's able to get lots of dunks off with the Aghanim Scepter, he can kill off the whole team, but if they use mech and Hand of God at right time, he won't be able to get any off, basically.
No, if you make him fail once, then at least he turns into such a less dangerous hero. I mean, he's still dangerous, don't get me wrong.
Not anymore, though, because it's only 6-second cooldown on Culling Blade.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got Aghanims. Earlier in the game, that's certainly true. But now, at this stage, doesn't really matter too much. But at the very least, it saves someone's life for a few more seconds. It means he can't instantly dunk them down from 625 health.
I'm still surprised by this Rubik. Like, I like that he's building a Necro to, you know, help with the push, but he has only got brown boots.
That's all he's building.
He doesn't have any mobility items, and we know how important those are on a Rubik to get the right initiation spells, to get the right spells, to get right initiation going, basically. You need, normally you see a Blink and a Force, or either.
Yeah, I guess his thinking is, you know, I have Phalet's and Edco. Both of those two are just going to be jumping in and trying to control as many people as possible. So he doesn't really need as much in the way of mobility, because the way PR are going to be in the fights is they're going to be sucked into one area. Yeah. So it's not like he has to worry about jumping around the fight and trying to steal from a Bane way in the back. Especially because he's not even going to be able to interrupt the Bane anymore, as Bane just finishes up a BKB. I mean, this is what happens when you have all these weird heroes. You end up with very almost strange item choices on a lot of them. I mean, BKB Rush with nothing else on Bane is very, very greedy, but I guess FNG is pretty much covering all the bases as far as support is concerned. And Edco needs to be careful.
Yeah, well,
there isn't much in the way of follow-up damage,
Shadow
though.
is not going to help out because there is a Jam Fiend script, Sunstrike. Invoker actually gets credit for the kill, which is important to note because that means he gets experience for it. And Edco is level 16, so it's a lot of experience that he got from that one. In the meantime, we've got ourselves a Centaur and a Skeleton King. Oh, Wraith King sitting close by there. I thought for a second they were going to try and go on that, but I guess they didn't really know that they were there. So they back off again.
Yeah, and the big thing as well is the Centaur is a great counter-initiator, and Wraith King takes a long time to kill, which, as a combo, is difficult to deal with. What is this craziness on the top lane? Phaelitz, again, just...
He has to be so careful.
Just messing with them.
Boom!
Whoa,
From
what a Sunstrike.
downtown! Sorry, I wanted to say that all the time. But that's a Sunstrike.
I can go to the other side of the room if you like and yell from downtown.
Yeah, we have got actually Scandal picked up still. I mean, yeah. Bottom lane. And actually his Necronomicon warriors are gonna get picked up as well, which gives a lot of gold. Let's see who's gonna be suiciding for it. Just an illusion is suiciding for it.
Use the Manta style. That's smart, actually. That's not something I realized that that happened. I thought the Manta, if you use a Manta style or, you know, one of your creeps to do it, it would do the damage on you. But apparently it does it to the actual unit that hit it and killed it, not the owner of that unit.
Yeah. 2-minute pause. Again, same story as yesterday.
Don't tell us how long the pause is, though, guys.
Yeah, tell us how long the pause is.
You have to just say, pause please, or something, because otherwise we're going to start talking about the weirdest stuff.
Yeah, and I don't think that's really productive. I mean, it's a grand finals after all. We kind of shouldn't talk about weird stuff like retarded brothers of people and stuff. So, I have to say, I mean, Power Rangers, they are starting to gain more and more ground. We see that back in the fights as well. They actually are able to kill off Edco fairly well. I mean, they're doing okay, but I kind of find that's not because Power Rangers are playing extremely well. I mean, they are playing well, don't get me wrong. But mostly it's because Total Aggression seems to be giving Power Rangers a lot of slack. They give space to Power Rangers and they split up, which... and they are, I mean, too greedy, maybe a bit too. And in the case of the Puck, for sure, really wants to get that gen all the time. But overall, it just feels like they're kind of stagnating, and with the lineup that they have, I don't think they can do that.
Yeah, they can't afford for that to happen. I've got to agree with it. I think the biggest problem is they're just not grouped up, right? It's not like extending the length of this game out is going to in any way play to their strengths. Their strength is not even right now. It was 15 minutes ago. They're still doing well with what they have right now, because when they do actually get those fights, they've been able to play it fairly well. But yeah, I think the big thing is they're just... Edco is initiating on people on his own. The same goes for the Puck, Phaelitz. And right now, they need to be catching the whole team out on the side of PR and try to wipe them. Because it's not like they're going to be able to push after just one or two people being picked off. Because PR are just stronger at this stage of the game. And yeah, the one thing they do have is that they still have, you know, a much better initiation than PR do have. PR, they have good initiation because they have the Centaur, who has got a Blink Dagger, and he's got a few more items now. He's got a Pipe of Insight, so it is difficult to fight the side of PR as a 5v5. They just have to try and take a surprise fight against PR. Maybe push out these lanes a little bit more, and then go 5-man smoke. Try and jump out there a couple of people and instantly take them out. Obviously, the people you don't want to jump Moon when he's on his own, because if people are close enough by, they'll probably come and save him, and they'll end up turning against you because you'll get that slow on you. Maybe if you can take out Scandal and then group up and push, or even the Chen, I think, because the Chen is a big issue at this stage of the game. He's got Hand of God and a mech. That's 550 extra health that everybody has if he survives.
And one thing that I'm worried about as well is that there's more and more BKBs being built on Power Rangers. I mean, we already said the Bane has one. We already saw Moon using his before as well. And at some point, Total Aggression, they kind of are behind on the BKBs. They need their own. I don't think anybody said go. I was going to say, like, that would be weird. Sorry, MC. Misclick. I knew what it stood for. Cool.
Oh, I was going to say he was MC Hammer.
Yeah. Well, MC on Pause Hammer, maybe.
On Pause Hammer? Is that a thing?
No, it's not.
That's terrible. What is that meant to be?
That's what happens in the pause too long. But yeah, BKBs, I find that they are kind of lacking those. And the control coming out from Power Rangers, I mean, that Centaur just jumping in every time is just super strong. They have so many disables. Fiend's Grip, Nightmare, the Stump, of course, from the Centaur. They've got the Wraith King Stun as well. And then they've got the Deafening Blast coming out from the Invoker, which is not really a stun, but you can't attack. That's the biggest thing that's hurting Mirana right now. I mean, she is the physical damage dealer of the team.
It's not a major stun, but Deafening Blasts, the knockback is essentially a stun. You know, it lasts for, at this stage, it's 1.5 seconds, so it's a pretty good stun.
It's a pretty decent disable,
Yeah, and I would say the one thing that Total Aggression, they kind of don't want to build BKBs. None of their heroes are natural BKB carriers, and they don't scale well enough if they do have to spend another almost 4,000 gold on a BKB. I almost feel like they just need to group up and just take the fight now. The puck is up in 15 seconds. Just go for it, because if we get to the 40-minute mark and we go past that point, I don't see how PR can lose this game.
Well, Mirana with the heroes that they have. So I guess a start has been made.
I mean, she's almost got to go for a BKB, because if she hits anybody with Blade Mail on at this point, she dies really fast. But otherwise, nobody else can really afford to go for BKB. Certainly not the Puck or even the Axe can, I think.
Ooh, smoke picked up by the Dazzle. Looks like we're going to have some more aggression coming out from Total Aggression. I don't like that saying that twice in a row is a stupid word. But I think it's good.
Call them TA.
We've got level 3 Necronomicon, so I find that maybe they just want to try and go for a push, see how far they can get. They have got level 1 Necro still up on Edco, so they're starting to build him toward that as well, but it will take a while before he has that finish for himself. They smoke up. There is no Roche up, but that will be fixed in a couple of seconds, so perhaps this is a smoke that, if they are successful, they will get Roche. Which this arrow is not going to scout out. Actually, the vision should disappear before Roche is there, yeah.
Oh, and look at the positioning of PR here. Look, they're just trying to protect themselves until the Roshan actually does come up. And this is a difficult place for Total Aggression to actually initiate on, because it's up high ground and they don't have any vision there. I guess they're just going to have to push out the bottom lane and hope that PR are forced to go and defend the tier 2 tower on the bot. But Roche is up now. PR are going to go for this. And I don't think there's much TA can do.
Look at Moon! He's got his own
Mjolnir.
Yeah,
Moon's strong enough to do it himself.
Yeah, with the Vampiric Aura, why not? Let's start bashing on the monster. As the supports are getting forced away by Fort Spirits. Just saying. Sunstrike! Not getting a kill, it's close though. But I mean, this basically means that if FFP has to go back to Fountain, Roshan is easily taken by Power Rangers. It is also including a cheese this time, so that's going to be even more scary for Total Aggression.
Moon, he's finished up Mjolnir. He's now going for AC as well. He's going to attack crazy fast in these fights. Yeah. And it's not like he doesn't hit hard either, because they have the Alpha Wolf now that's following him around. Chen actually picked that up.
Strike as well.
Yeah, and he has crit. Yeah, he's pretty strong, and yeah, it feels like that might have sealed the deal for PR. If Total Aggression can get a couple of like perfect fights, then they can still absolutely team wipe PR. But it's incredibly difficult to do at this point, because if anybody, say if they don't catch the Invoker and they catch everybody else with Edco's Call, which is incredibly hard because it's very short range, alright? Invoker can still combo most of the team of Total Aggression and do some serious damage and stop them from actually doing anything. If they use Tornado just after Edco initiates, then Total Aggression are not actually doing any damage. They're just making PR stand around for a few seconds.
Yeah. Oh, I like the Scythe of Ice pickup by Scandal now as well. It just adds even more control
more counter initiation.
To already heavy control team. Yeah, I mean, if Edco jumps in and Evoker is not part of the call, the initial call.
That said, Moon is pretty. He's pretty on his own here, but support is coming down.
Though. If they jump him, then there will be a backup team for him very fast, and they're smoked up behind him actually as well. We have failed jumping forward, finds himself hexed up, stunned up, and killed off. Oh my god. I mean, the Meteor even doesn't do anything anymore. Fails, just got melt down. The rest, no other choice but to run and hide and hope that they won't go for the base anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, Failitz, earlier he's been dodging a lot of stuns with phase shift, but this time he gets caught out and there's nothing he can do. That maybe could have been a good opportunity for Total Aggression, because at the time they didn't have J4 with them, and their Centaur, he's carrying a pipe, he's most of their initiation power. But now now they're going to get sieged up on the high ground here, and there's not a huge amount of counter push on the side of Total Aggression, especially with the puck down. Or Illusory Orb is most of their counter push.
I feel that with the Cheese, with the Aegis, Power Rangers, even though, you know...
They can go high ground.
Yeah, they can definitely go high ground. And even if they lose the fight, it's fine. They have got this backup, and they don't have to be scared that Total Aggression is going to be pushing their base if they lose this fight, that is.
The one nice thing for Total Aggression is all these Necro books, they are very good versus move, because they can all burn mana. The melee creep will do it just by hitting, and the range creep here has a 200 mana nuke, so that's pretty useful. They can maybe, if they can burn out the Wraith King's mana before the fight actually starts, then maybe they have an opportunity to initiate and actually get a pretty nice fight, because then Reincarnation, it requires 140 mana, which is a fair amount for a Wraith King, but at this stage he's so statsy. He's level 21, he's got a drum.
Yeah. Oh, Edgo already getting stunned up. In comes J4. Stunning up too as well. It is the axe that goes down first. Marana and supports. Oh, wow. We have a big disconnect coming out, though. I hope that's going to be a disconnect to call the GG, because otherwise that is going to be some unfortunate happening.
I guess it has to be.
That wasn't intentional disconnect. That is pretty damn painful. That wasn't.
It's painful, but...
Well, they can
go for the reload, but
that's very friendly.
Even so, it's a very small chance that Total Aggression can actually take the fight if we do go for a reload then.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Waiting for the answer. No,
they just call the GG. I think they knew that this game had gone on too long. Even if they win that fight then, what are they going to do from it? They're just at their base. It's going to take them an age to win that fight. Even if they do, they're going to have to kite out Moon all day. They're not going to get a tower from it. Yeah, I think they just they call the GG. It's better to go next sometimes than try and fight a losing battle for a long time.
Keep the momentum high, keep the spirits up.
Exactly right. Because if you turtle out for the next half an hour and then you still lose, like, you're going to feel awful for game 2.
And I mean, this is a best of 5. So they've got some leeway to lose a game and then come back from it. I do think that they definitely put up a good fight. Also, a lot of people might have been now surprised by how Total Aggression plays this. May have gained some new fans. I mean, they did play the axe quite nicely, as there's now fountain farming going on. But overall, I think they played very, very well. Maybe a bit more aggression coming out early game would have helped them out. And as you already mentioned, having an aggressive tri-lane with just a solo axe might have worked out better for them as well. For the moment, though, they are going to be thinking about what they're going to do in the second game, as Power Rangers will take out this Game 1 in the Grand Finals Best of 5 Game 1. Stick around for Game 2, coming up right after this one. And I'm expecting a very high aggression game. I mean, this game was 40 minutes, and we had ourselves 67 kills, so nothing to be ashamed of.
Yeah, I mean, the big thing for them is they possibly just gave away too many kills in the early game, particularly on their off-lane dual lane. And if you're running an all-in strategy, an all-in early game strategy like this, with a Dazzle doing the majority of your damage, you can't afford for that to happen. That, I think, was probably the biggest problem, is that the kill score was even with PR for too long. And this strategy, it needs to be ahead most of the game.
Yeah. That is the thing about it. I mean, it's a bit of a snowball-y strategy. It definitely can work, but you have to have a decent start, which they kind of lacked in this game. Still did fairly okay, even without the start, but... Well, let's see if they can get a better start next game. As said, the next game is going to start right after this one, so stick around. We'll be right back with Game 2 of this Best of 5 for the Grand Finals of the Spring Cup. Don't go anywhere.